Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk to you about one of the biggest things that I see holding people back when it comes to building a brand, growing an audience, monetizing, basically just building an online business. I in particular work with a ton of people getting into high ticket affiliate marketing and just people in the affiliate marketing world in general. But this trickles into a lot of other areas of internet marketing and online business. Really whatever, area of that circle you kind of play in, this is pretty common. And I wanted to do a video about it because if I can bring the concept to light and some people watch it, they realize that they've been doing that and it's been holding them back, and then they can correct the ship, it gets them on the right track, then this piece of content has served its purpose. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about in this video today. Before we jump into it, if you want to get into high ticket affiliate marketing, work with me and my team, check out the Super Affiliate Accelerator. There's a link in the description. Subscribe to the channel, give the video a like if you get any value from it, leave any questions or comments that you've got below, and I'll do my best to get back to them throughout the week. Okay. So one of the biggest things that I see people doing is being very reactive rather than proactive. Okay, so how do you know if this is you? Do you spend most of your time scrolling on Facebook, looking at videos on YouTube, reading emails, Instagram, and consuming content from people in the space, and then that'll trigger an idea, and then you're like, I'm gonna go do that, and you might work on that for a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, and you don't finish it, and then you slowly start creeping back into this consumption mode. You're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, YouTube again, consuming. Another idea, I'm gonna go do that, right? Or someone tells you to do something, or you're looking for a new strategy, or you hear about the latest trend, right? And you hear about it and you react to it, and then you go and try it for a little while, and then you're stuck in this reactive cycle, this reactive mindset, and you're constantly jumping from thing to thing. Maybe it's a free strategy, maybe it's a paid strategy. This could be costing you a lot of money. It could have cost you a lot of money in the past, based on the latest trend, the latest thing that somebody's telling you to do, and you're just constantly reacting to advice from other people. If you're in that mode, you're in for a pretty tough time unless you can snap out of it and change it. Okay. The first thing is to recognize if you are in that mode. Okay, so if that sounds familiar, if you're constantly jumping from one thing to the next based on a Facebook post that you read or something you see on social media or the latest launch that blows up or whatever, and you don't feel like you've got like a solid foundation, right? And you're constantly trying to throw Hail Marys based on, the next big thing that's coming out, you're in reactive mode. That is you, okay? So first thing is to recognize it. The second thing is to acknowledge that it's an issue and start putting the steps in place to fix it, okay? Now, obviously, the opposite of being reactive is being proactive, okay? So there's two phases to this, in my opinion, to fixing this problem. You've got to first get proactive about building your foundation, and then you can get proactive about building up, right? Building the different pillars of it. And getting really creative and being like genuinely proactive about testing different things, about trying different things, about integrating different things, about working on different areas of your mindset, about going into, deeper areas, the nitty gritty of all these different things. Okay. So I view the shift from being reactive to being proactive in two parts. The first one is you've got to proactively get your foundation set up. Okay, so if you're the type of person that I described who's constantly jumping from one thing to the next, there's a good chance that you don't have that foundation built. Okay, so I've touched on this in quite a few videos. I'll touch on it quickly, but you need three things in place, right? What do you sell? how do you sell it, and who do you sell it to, right? What is your product, or what are your products that you are going to sell today, tomorrow, next month, next year, for however long you want to sell them for. You don't have to be married to them forever, but however long you want to sell them for, what are you selling? Okay. Now, if I talk to my affiliate marketers directly here, because that's the space that I play in, there should be high ticket in there. It's going to be the fastest way for you to get where you want to go. Okay, there's no two ways about it. It's simple maths. Okay. People will talk about recurring and all these kind of things. Ultimately, it comes down to what's the lifetime value of the customer that you're acquiring, and high ticket being in there somewhere. Look, you can have other low ticket, recurring and stuff in there, but having a high ticket offer in there is going to make things happen so much quicker. Okay. So what are you selling, right? If you can't quickly say, this is my one product, these are my 2 core products, these are my 3 core products, that's what you need to proactively do right now, is write those down. Okay. This step can go a bit further and we can get into offer creation and stuff, but I've got other videos on the channel about how to craft an offer, so you can go check those out. The second thing is, how am I selling it, right? Now, 2 and 3 kind of go hand in hand together. Who are you selling it to and how are you selling it? Depend on the platform that you want to choose. So when I say who are you selling it to, I don't just mean who is your target market. I mean, what platform are you using to get in front of people, right? Are you going to use YouTube? Are you going to use a blog, a podcast, Facebook, Instagram, email marketing, whatever it is? You need to pick your poison and stick with it. And then you need a congruent sales vehicle to sell that product or those products. Okay. So if it's YouTube, it might be a funnel with a link in the description. If it's Facebook, it might be communicating with people, or it could be a combination of the two. If it's Instagram, it's probably a link in your bio over to a funnel, and then maybe talking to people in the DMs as well, right? You've got to write down and figure out what are your sales vehicles in order to sell those products that you picked in step 1. And it's got to be congruent with the platform, right? Like, I'm not going to do one-to-one selling really off YouTube. It's going to be more click the link in the funnel. Maybe that could end up in a conversation in ManyChat, but for the most part, it's going to be sending someone to like watch a video, a sales video or something like that. Okay. Over on Facebook, you've got a lot more room to use to do one-to-one selling. Okay. Which is really good for high ticket. So you've got to match those two up. So proactively right now, if you want to stop spinning your wheels, figure out what those products are, and then match the platform and the sales method that you want to do. Okay. It doesn't matter what the latest trend is telling you to do. It doesn't matter what someone might tell you is saturated, or what, all of that shit. It doesn't matter. What do you want to do? Okay. Where do you want to start building your brand? And just because you start there doesn't mean that you have to do that and that thing alone forever. I would actually encourage you to stack platforms on top of each other. So I've got a presence over on Facebook, growing my presence on YouTube. You stack them on top of each other, and I run ads that's stacked on top again. Okay, but where do you want to start? Do you want to get on video? Answer that question, yes or no. Do you want to put posts on Facebook? Do you want to put posts on Instagram? Do you want to blog? Do you want to write? Do you want to do email marketing? Right? This isn't for other people to answer. This is your business. This is for you to answer. You pair up the platform and the sales strategy, and then you focus on that every single day to sell those core products. You need to grow that platform to fuel the sales process to sell the products. You do that every single day. And when you simplify it down to those 3 things, then you can focus on pushing as many people through the front door of that sales process as possible to sell those units, which is going to fuel your better mindset, and everything's going to get better. Okay. So proactively, that's the first thing that you have to do. You recognize that I'm in this reactive state, and then you say, I'm going to fix it. That's the first thing you have to do. You build that foundation. It's like when you're building a house, right? You don't start with the second floor first. You start by putting the slab down, right? And then you start building the frame of the house and all that kind of stuff. That's what we're talking about here, is getting that foundation set up. When that is set up, that's when you can take being proactive into another phase, right? And that's where you can start to get really, really creative. You can go into all the different cool areas of mindset, persuasion, influence, right? You can start adding on different platforms and adding on different strategies. You can use funnels and one-to-one. You can integrate the two. You can do hybrid traffic where you're integrating parts of organic into paid, all of this kind of stuff, right? That's the second phase of getting proactive. When that foundation is built, you've got the platform, you've got the sales method, you've got the product, and it's there. Then you can get proactive into that second phase, okay? That is how you get out of the reactive mindset, the what may be called shiny object syndrome that people get stuck in. Recognize it, get proactive in phase one, build that foundation. When that foundation's set up, get proactive in phase two, start testing a ton of stuff, start stacking different platforms when the time is right, which is a topic for a whole nother day, and just ruthlessly try different things to grow that foundation up, right? Like to build the house up. You're not trying different things to go back to that reactive mindset and jump around. You're stacking things on top of each other. You're keeping the good, you're throwing out the bad, and you're building momentum, and you're building momentum, and you're building momentum, okay? So that's for my people who are heading into this new week and they're stuck and they're spinning their wheels. That's how you get out of being in a reactive mindset and get into a proactive approach to starting and growing your online business, okay? Now, if you want help with this, if you want to use this as a marker and draw a line in the sand, if you're recognizing that you're being reactive and you don't want to go this alone, you want to work with myself, my team, you want to join a community of people, and high ticket affiliate marketing interests you, check out the Super Affiliate Accelerator. It may or may not be the right fit for you, but you can check it out. You will have to do work. You will have to learn some cool stuff that I find really interesting about sales, about marketing, about mindset, about psychology, about offer creation, about, you know, all these cool areas. We'll take you down that path and we can work on that together if it's the right fit for you, so you can check that out. Or, you know, you can go figure this stuff out on your own too, and that's fine. But get out of the reactive approach, right, where you're just constantly consuming a ton of content. And if that means you have to stop watching this channel, that's fine. I'm okay with that. If it means that you go and do some stuff and you get on the front foot and you start making it happen. But acknowledge that you're being reactive, get that foundation built, and then the fun really starts, because then you can start to stack things on top of each other, okay? Check out the Super Affiliate Accelerator, subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.